Fields, a former burial ground and popular final resting place for many individuals, which was established in the 17th century. However, today we will uncover the more ominous and sinister past of this burial ground. Why did this graveyard become the only choice for location for nonconformists in the period? How were religious dissenters excluded from mainstream society?
I personally hold what is called a nonconformist identity. I was one of many dissidents who were merging into a growing nonconformist subculture growing at this time, and religious intolerance meant that we could not be buried in a traditional churchyard. Not only were ideas looked down upon, but religious authorities were determined that dissenters could not be buried on consecrated land. Sometimes, quite literally, were excluded from mainstream society both in life and in death.
The population of London was climbing rapidly from 1660 onwards, and the new area of land was needed for overflow. The authorities were posed with two pressing questions. What should they do with the excessive amount of plague victims, as well as how they should respond to the nonconformist burials?
Those nonconformists are repulsive people. They make a mockery of the Church of England and the establishment. Our burial ground should be preserved for those who practice traditional religion without a continual desire to deviate from traditional society. We, the Church of England, have made sure that by law and social custom, these filthy nonconformists are being restricted from many spheres of public life, even in death. I refuse to let any unholy distance be buried in my churchyard.
That type of scandalous reaction was to be entirely expected by such oppressive authorities who are still stuck in the past with their old-fashioned view of religion and burial. My burial in Bunhill Fields would be symbolic of the intolerance of the authorities towards alternative political and religious views.
As we have seen, Bunhill Fields has become a popular destination for nonconformist burials from the 17th century. This site also was essential for accommodating plague victims, as well as serving an essential overflow purpose. However, what was the nature of burial and commemoration in early modern England?
Many burials during the 17th century were accomplished within a day of death, though 2 to 4 days was the usual interval between death and burial for the middle and upper classes in the 1630s. For the very wealthy, several weeks or months of preparation might go into the elaborate and costly funerals orchestrated by the heralds and heavyweight religious figures. This delay might necessitate the embalming of the corpses.
My beliefs are one of many issues arising at this time. Funerals were also a site of conflict between religious denominations. For Protestants, burial was a time of remembrance for the deceased without any superstitious thought like purgatory. For Catholics, burial in the graveyards of old monastic sites still remained popular. Burial near religious images and holy people was also popular.
However, those considered outsiders by society and the church, criminals, suiciders, heretics, nonconformists, were relegated to interment in unconsecrated ground. Sometimes nonconformists were refused burial, or even exhumed and destroyed. At times of crisis, such as during the plague, mass graves were also used.
Whilst today, Bunhill Fields is surrounded by a thriving metropolis, the former burial ground was not what it may first seem. The exclusion of dissenters, mass burials, and the growth of nonconformist subculture makes this an unusual burial place.